What if growth isn't just something you try to affirm, but something you can see and feel? Now, affirmations have been all the rave, repeat a few mantras and eventually I'd believe them, but they never stuck. What did stick for me were small little personal artifacts I left behind, like physical reminders of moments where I chose, let's say, courage and authenticity over comfort. I actually have a framed check on my wall, and it's not a trophy, nor is it my first paycheck. It's actually a receipt from a very messy and uncomfortable moment, a moment where I chose to stand up for myself, maybe even for the first time. It was back in college when I had some car issues. I had to take it to the dealership and paid a pretty decent amount to fix it. But as you'll have it, like weeks later, same problem. So I brought it back. I still had a warranty that was valid, but they tried to charge me again. And let's call him Joe from the dealership called me back, and he laughed and mocked at me when I tried to push back. He said, "Dude, pal, that's not how we do it around here, pal. Plus, it's almost out of warranty. Why would you even think about trying to bring it back right now?" And the old me would have folded right then and there. You're right, dude. My bad. I'm so sorry. You just please take my money. But something in me said no. I could sense like the inner boundary that came up, and I could hang with it. So I pushed back, called his bluff, stood my ground, voice crack and heart pounding. Somehow 2 days later, I was on the phone with the owner of the dealership, and long story short, he sent me a check only if I didn't leave a bad review for some reason, by the way. Probably because they got a lot of them. But the check, it's not about the money. It's a symbol of a moment where I chose to be someone new, to aim for an expanded version of myself. So we don't always need like more mantras. We need these reminders, things that take us back to the exact moment where we acted in alignment with who we want to become. And I think that's the power of these personal artifacts. This can be like a photo from the day you told somebody the truth, or a screenshot of a conversation where you finally set a boundary, or a page from a book that changed the way you see yourself, a tattoo, you name it. I actually once I drew a screenshot of a text I had with a friend. I shared something pretty real, pretty honest, but once I sent it, I was flooded with feelings of anxiety and guilt, and I was pacing around my room, but at the same time I was also feeling very proud. And that moment meant something to me, and then that drawing keeps it alive. And this can be linked to the teachings of, let's say, Joe Dispenza. If you're not familiar with him, he wrote some books, but he also does workshops where he has people imagining themselves in a desired state, where they exercise mind and body to be in this state of being more and more. It's like doing reps of it. Same with the book Think and Grow Rich, where they have all these let's do one. Probably go something like this. Now imagine yourself with $100,000 in your bank account. What does that feel like? Right, they got some cheesy voice in the background, and you're like, oh. You feel a sense of relief. Can you breathe a little easier? How are you walking around now? Are you a little lighter on the feet? What are you going to do tomorrow? Right, but these things strengthen that, right? It's like an exercise in that state of being. And I think this can be linked to the artifacts. They're breadcrumbs, markers on a trail, where you took action. Affirmations don't usually hold the same power, but if you take action, and remind yourself of it, it's a stronger connection to this state of being, right? So they remind us of hard things that we've done before, times that we've chosen our truth, and that we can do it again. It just loops you back into this desired state of being, of that version of you that you want to become. So if this rings true for you, I'm curious, do you have any of these artifacts? You got a nice little tattoo, a little talisman or something on the desk, something that reminds you of who you're becoming. Let me know in the comments, and I'll be chatting with you soon. Peace.